You ever stick your paws where they absolutely do not belong? Yeah, that's how this started. There I was, doing raccoon things. Snooping, climbing, knocking over stuff I was definitely not supposed to knock over. Then I found this weird little machine on the bathroom counter. Tiny lights, big button, very pressable. So obviously, I pressed it. Bad news? It was not a toothbrush. One flash later, I'm 6 inches tall, standing on the rim of a toilet, trying to process the fact that the seat is now the size of a wrestling ring. And then someone walks in. No. They flush. Okay, so this is already the worst day of my life. The water behind me jumps up like it's been waiting for this moment. Not a big dramatic ocean wave either. Worse, a toilet wave. Fast, violent, and weirdly personal. The next, my feet are gone, and I'm getting yanked toward the hole like the bowl itself has decided I'm the problem. I reach for the rim, miss. And now, I'm in the flush. The first thing you need to know is this. Toilets are not built like giant water slides. At least, not when you're tiny. When you're my size, this is less wee and more, oh no. It's cramped, loud, slippery, and deep inside the toilet is this curved tunnel called the trapway, which honestly sounds fake. But no, that is its actual name. See, when you flush a toilet, water rushes from the tank into the bowl. That extra water creates a siphon effect, which pulls everything through the trapway and down into the drain. Normally, that's great, very efficient, wonderful invention. For me, not ideal. I slam shoulder first into the porcelain curve, bounce sideways, clip my knee, and get twisted head first into the bend. And let me give you one very important piece of advice. Keep your mouth shut. No questions. No screaming. No, maybe it's not that bad. It is that bad. The trapway is there for an important reason, actually. It always holds a little water inside the bend, which helps block sewer gases from coming back up into the bathroom. So for a regular human, that curve is useful. For a 6-inch raccoon getting dragged through it, I would not recommend it. Then suddenly, whoop, darkness. I get spit out of the toilet and into the house pipes. And wow, somehow this is worse in a completely different way. The toilet was violent. The pipes are worse. Because now I'm sliding through a tube barely wider than my shoulders, scraping along pipe walls coated in this slick layer of soap scum, grime, grease, and things that used to belong to people, but absolutely should not belong to me now. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Riff, what exactly is on the walls? I don't know, and I do not want to know. Actually, no, that's not true. I do know a little, and unfortunately now so do you. Because nothing really disappears when it goes down a drain. It just gets moved. Toothpaste foam, hair, old soap, kitchen grease, tiny food scraps, dust, dirt. Every gross little thing that gets rinsed away starts building up inside the plumbing system, which means I am currently sliding through everything this house thought it got rid of. Why is there so much hair? As I keep sliding, more pipes start joining in. That's because all the drains in a house eventually connect to the same main line. Sink water crashes in from one side, shower runoff from another, washing machine water, maybe a little kitchen sludge. And every time a new pipe joins, the current gets stronger. This is because most household plumbing works with gravity. The pipes are sloped slightly downward, so wastewater keeps flowing toward the sewer without needing a pump. That's the trick. Gravity does the hard work, which is bad news for me. Because when the whole system is angled one way, there is no heroic climbing scene, no dramatic comeback, no grabbing a ledge and pulling myself to safety. Everything slopes downhill, and downhill is not where I want to go. Still, maybe there's hope. Flow in household pipes comes in burst, it's not always full blast. So maybe, just maybe, I can wedge my foot against a joint, catch on a rough edge, and stop myself. And for one glorious second, I do. Oh, let's go! I jam both feet against the pipe wall and actually hold myself in place. Maybe I can climb out. Maybe I can... Somebody upstairs flushes. Are you kidding me? The second surge hits me like it had my address. I get ripped loose, launched through another bend, and shot into a much bigger pipe. The sound changes. The air changes too. Warmer, staler, nastier. And that is when I realize I have officially left one family's plumbing and entered the city's problem. Welcome to the sewer. Now it stops feeling like a pipe and starts feeling like an underground river made entirely out of everybody's bad decisions. Black water rolls beneath the street. The walls sweat. Grease clings to the concrete in pale streaks. Wet wipes drift past like cursed jellyfish. Bits of trash swirl by. And somewhere, probably, a rat is watching me go by like I owe him money. And yes, there are living things down here. Roaches, flies, worms, bacteria, way too much bacteria. Maybe things with too many legs. Maybe things with no legs that still move faster than I'd like. Sewers are not just dirty, they're active. And the crazy part is how much water can move through them. Sewer systems are designed to carry wastewater away from houses and streets and send it toward treatment plants. In some places, stormwater can mix in too, which means after heavy rain, the flow can become way stronger and way more dangerous. So the gross little drift I landed in earlier, yeah, that can turn into a black underground stampede. I try to stand up. Immediate mistake. One foot goes down, slips on the uneven floor, and I nearly faceplant into what I truly hope is just toilet paper. Something bumps my leg. Something else smacks my shoulder. A tennis ball floats by. Why is there a tennis ball down here? Actually, never mind. That somehow feels exactly right. Then the air starts getting weird. And this part is important because sewers can be dangerous even before the water gets you. Gas is built up down here. One of the big ones is hydrogen sulfide. At low levels, it smells like rotten eggs. At higher levels, it can mess with your sense of smell, which is not very helpful for something toxic. Methane can build up too. Add low oxygen, and suddenly, this place is not just disgusting, it's dangerous. My eyes sting. My throat burns. Breathing feels wrong. And the sewer still does not care. The current drags me deeper into larger tunnel sections where more and more lines combine into one faster, louder flow. Then, up ahead, through the dark, I spot metal bars half underwater. Oh good, machinery. That is not an exit. That is infrastructure. Best case, I squeeze through. Worst case, I hit it chest first and become part of the explanation tour for the next maintenance guy. By some miracle, I slip through the bars and shoot onward into a wider channel. And then I hear something new. Not rushing water. Machines. The treatment plant. And honestly, that name sounds way too nice for what this place is. A wastewater treatment plant is where the city takes everything that got flushed, rinsed, drained, or dumped away and starts cleaning it before the water can be released back into the environment. It's one of those things people almost never think about, but it is incredibly important. Also terrifying when you arrive in person. The first stage is called preliminary treatment. That means the plant removes the big stuff first before it can damage pumps and equipment. Rags, bottles, sticks, wipes, paper towels. Random junk people really should not have flushed. From my perspective, this is basically a giant obstacle course built by engineers who assumed no tiny raccoon would ever be involved. I dodge one metal screen and nearly get flattened against a wad of paper towels the size of a truck. Then the flow carries me into the next stage, grit removal. This is where heavier material like sand, pebbles, and dense particles settle out of the water so they don't grind up the machinery later, which sounds smart and useful, unless you are inside it. Now bits of grit are dropping through the water around me like underwater buckshot, tiny hard particles everywhere. I duck one, spin around another, and then everything slows down. Too much. That means I've entered a settling tank. And this part is creepy. After all that chaos, the settling tank feels almost calm. Wide basin, brown water, low mechanical hum. Suspended solids slowly sink toward the bottom. Grease and floating scum rise to the top. The whole city is separating into layers around me like the grossest lava lamp in human history. You might think this is where things finally get better. Nope, because now we get to the biological stage. Secondary treatment uses microorganisms, mostly bacteria, to break down the remaining organic waste in the water. Plants add oxygen to keep those microbes working, which means the water gets churned and aerated in huge bubbling tanks. So imagine falling into a giant foamy brown basin that is basically alive. Bubbles hammer upward, the surface boils, pipes hum, blowers roar, and all around me, trillions of tiny microbes are doing their microscopic jobs, while I am having the worst science lesson of all time. This system does not stop for me. That's the scariest part. It screens, settles, aerates, pumps, keeps moving. Every apartment, every restaurant, every school, every gas station, every person who looked at a paper towel and said, close enough. That person is a menace. So let's answer the actual question. What's it like to be flushed down a toilet? Simple. Fast at the start, cramped in the middle, disgusting the whole way through. And if you're wondering whether I survived this, honestly, almost no chance. The flush can slam you into hard porcelain. The house pipes can trap you or smash you with sudden surges. The sewer adds toxic gases, low oxygen, darkness, debris, bacteria, and fast-moving wastewater. Then the treatment plant throws in metal screens, grit chambers, settling tanks, and giant biological basins full of microbes. You would need unbelievable luck, perfect timing, low flow, no second flush, no toxic gas hitting too hard, no stormwater surge, no getting pinned to a screen, no infection afterward, no machinery turning you into a plumbing anecdote. That's not survival. That's winning the worst lottery on Earth. Could some small animals survive parts of the trip? Sure, rats are built different. Insects can live in places that feel made up. Microbes love it down here. But me? I'm a soft little trash panda in a system designed to move waste, not protect bad decisions. So next time you flush a toilet, maybe take 1 second to appreciate the absolute nightmare obstacle course hidden underneath your house. As for me, I am never pressing random buttons in a bathroom again. Probably.